Well, it's time for another gardening week, and as per usual at this time of year, I don't have very much gardening to do because the allotment's all planted up. But what I do have time to do is try and get all these like little niggly jobs done. And one of the jobs is to get this border along the side of my plot. Basically, this is the edge of my plot here. We used to have a fence here, a pallet fence, and we've replaced it with this squash climbing frame. And I plant the squash in these containers, well, not in these containers, in these halos through the ground there. And it's incredibly weedy down here. And so I'm putting down this really thick, sort of 6-inch, 8-inch mulch of wood chip, which is going to act in two ways, really. It should be a really effective weed barrier, but it also should provide a really good reservoir of nutrients as it gradually rots down, and I keep on topping it up for the squash plants that are going to grow along here and then up on these frames. So yeah, I mean, it's annoyed me for years, this area, and I'm really pleased to finally kind of come up with a solution for it. I was going to put wood down, but then in the end I managed to get hold of these bits of plastic, so they saved me a bit of money and they seem to be doing the job. And the other benefit of putting this thick wood chip mulch down is that as the sort of raised bed that's on this side here rots, which it is gradually doing, this is kind of holding it all in place. So the wood chips kind of acting as a support for the rotting wood. And that's what I've done on my main plot as well. Basically buried the lowest level of my raised beds in wood chip. And the other thing I really like about this solution is that you can water into the halo, and obviously all the water then goes down deep underneath this wood chip mulch, and the wood chip acts as a really great way to hold the water in, dramatically reducing the amount of watering I need to do. It takes about half an hour to drain through, which is just about perfect. And it's a stunning day, but it's cold. I've just been out on the beach, walking on the beach, and it's absolutely gorgeous out there at this time of year. But you have to watch out because the tide comes in pretty quick. I've got a little time lapse so you can see just how quickly it catches up with you. So yeah, it's a nice way to spend the morning. I just cycled down here, and the reason I'm down here now is I'm just looking to see how these calabrese are getting on, and they're coming on quite nicely. I finally got rid of all those Asian greens that were running along that back edge there, and these little lettuces, they're coming on okay, so I think I might actually get a lettuce harvest before these calabrese completely shade them out, because I think in 2 or 3 weeks time the calabrese will be about this big, but the lettuce will be ready, so that'll be a nice bonus crop. And you might remember that I mentioned that I always leave some of the sort of grotty old Brussels, the ones that really don't look nice enough to harvest, on the plants, because I really want to harvest these blown sprouts. And just look how lovely they are now. I'm really looking forward to picking these in a few days' time. Really gorgeous. And back here you can see them just sort of starting to sort of get ready to explode, and all those rubbish old leaves that were around the outside there, they've all kind of thrown themselves back, and you've got all this lovely new growth in the centre. So yeah, I don't really like to take my sprouts out too early. And same thing in the kitchen garden, the colettes are just going crazy now, absolutely sort of awash with lovely fresh new leaves. So yeah, I love this time of year. And since I'm filling time, I thought let's take a look underneath this fleece at the spinach that I put in a couple of weeks ago. I think it's looking pretty good from what I can see, but yeah, it's worth just peeling this back a little bit and having a bit of a closer look to see how it's doing. Yes, that's just looking beautiful. So yeah, it won't be long before this bed is taken over. Well, maybe even next week it'll be taken over from my overwintered beds. So sticking with the theme of doing infrastructure work on the plots, I spent a couple of hours on Debbie's plot and moved all these bags of compost on, and we're using farmyard manure for all the beds apart from the brassica beds, and mushroom compost in the white bags for the brassica beds. And I barrowed in probably 30 barrow loads of this really nice, really good wood chip. Hardly any greens in it at all, so it's basically all wood for the paths. Raised all the paths up to the top of the raised beds, because the raised beds are all kind of falling to pieces and rotting. So rather than replace all of that wood, I thought I'll just raise this up. That'll make it less likely to flood. It'll hold all the wood in place and just separate the paths from the beds themselves. So yeah, that was an interesting couple of hours work, quite intense, but I'm really pleased with the results. So yeah, so Debbie's plot is almost done. It's almost all weeded. She's been really busy clearing it, and as I say, we're just about to mulch it, and we'll be ready for planting in, well, actually some of the beds are ready for planting with onions, salad onions now. The rest of it is going to wait until May, really. Well, it's a lovely day now, but it was -3.5 in the polytunnel last night. That's in stark contrast really to the greenhouse, which has got such a lot of thermal mass. You know, it's got stone floors, it's got a lot of containers, well, like these in, that hold a lot of heat, and of course it's got the brick walls, and the combination of all those things, and it heats up to sort of maybe 30 degrees centigrade during the day, and then it releases all that heat during the night, so it's sort of keeping itself pretty much frost free. I've got a heater in there just in case, but it's hardly coming on. So everything's perfectly happy though at -3.5. It doesn't need fleece or anything like that because it's all properly hardened off. Everything's hardy on the allotment, so yeah, no concerns there. And really the only thing in the greenhouse that would care about a frost are the potatoes, but obviously it's not freezing in there, so the potatoes are happy as well. So I am just about to do the harvest now. I'll show you that in a few minutes' time. Well, I actually spent more time harvesting today than I spent gardening all week. It takes a bit of time harvesting at this time of year because everything's still a little bit slow and you have to sort of, you know, work your way through it all. But anyway, there's plenty of nice potatoes. They don't look very nice, do they? But they are actually, once you sort of get up close to them and sort of get over the fact they've got that mottled skin, they're actually really quite nice. Loads of carrots, and not so many salad carrots now because pretty much all of them are this sort of size, but I'm using these size in salads, and because they've got a frost on them, as I think I mentioned probably earlier, the probably on the allotment I think it was about -3, so yeah, nice frost on the carrots, and so they'll be nice and sweet. Anyway, so we've got some nice kales, colette leaves, cabbage leaves, red cabbage leaves, purple sprouting broccoli, beetroot, crown prince squash, and I've started picking now these blown sprouts, which are lovely. I really like blown sprouts, and yeah, they're coming on really nicely. Got quite a lot. I always leave a few sprouts, the grottiest ones, on the plants so that they'll blow for me. And yeah, still plenty of sprouts though, so got best of both really. And colettes, loads and loads of those, they're looking nice. How many have I got? 7 boxes of spinach. That's a mix of the Rubino and the overwintered spinach, which is giant winter. some leeks, some salad onions, and then pretty much everything else I think are the salad ingredients. We always have a lot of salad ingredients at this time of year, which is good because everybody's eating a lot of salads, and not so many of the cooked veggies, but still enough, you know, still a nice selection of cooked stuff there. And oh, and there's yacon, which is not on the table, but we've got plenty of yacon. I'll just show you a tub of yacon just for completeness. So for the salads, we've got radishes, lamb's lettuce, red stem pak choi, spinaches, loads of spinach, some more spinach over there, tatsoi, beautiful tatsoi. This is the new tatsoi, and that's actually the new red stem pak choi as well. So we took the overwintered stuff out last week. Yeah, the Claytonia, which is still going gangbusters. Absolutely great, that. Onion tops. So we've got some onions that had sprouted, so we've planted those and we're harvesting the tops off those. And then we've got baby leaf chard and beetroot leaves. Stacks of those, which is great because they're one of my favourites at this time of year. And another one of those. And salad rocket. So I think that's everything. We haven't got golden beetroot in the store. There's no golden beetroot on the table, but yeah, plenty of that in store as well. Sometimes we just forget to get things out of the store. In fact, Debbie's forgotten to get all the onions and shallots and garlic and all of that from the store as well. But anyway, the table's full enough. So there we go. I'll just make up all those salads just so you can see the way we enjoy our salads all mixed up. I think I'm done. My name's Steve, and I'll see you soon.